What up, what up, what up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 9 Reunion Part 3. This is the last part of the Season 9 reunion of Real Housewives of Potomac. So if you haven't seen it, turn this video off and go watch the episode and then come back and watch this review. And like the review and subscribe to my channel. It's free, it's anonymous, it's easy to do. It's the best way to support my channel. It takes less than 5 seconds to do. Did I say that? I don't know. But yeah, I'm not a public speaker. I will tend to fumble my words and say and so and like 1,000 times. I may stop to regain my thoughts. I may slow my speaking down to regain my thoughts. I'm gonna be looking at my notes that I take throughout the show. Anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. And excuse me if I'm breathing heavy and I'm breathing hard or whatever, but I'm trying. So yeah. Um. Comment below what you would grade this week's episode, what you thought about it. If there's anything that I left out or I was off on or I forget or you just have an opinion in general, please leave it in the comments for those interactions. I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. I'm going to grade this part 3 of this reunion. I'm going to give it a B+. It was juicy. It was juicy. The delusion was there. The non-accountability of it all. This part 3 was wow. I would have to give it a B+. I enjoyed it. I ain't gonna lie. I enjoyed the messiness. Last Chance, The Real Housewives of Potomac Season 9 Reunion Part 3. If you have not seen it, turn this video off so you don't get any spoilers. Okay, so at the top of this reunion, Andy he goes straight because Mia's not out there no more. They didn't make Mia cry and leave the stage. So now Andy he transitions to talking to Stacy about the whole TJ of it all. So he asks Stacy, he's like, "Well, we invited TJ to come to the reunion," and he's like, "Why didn't he asked Stacy, "Why didn't you want TJ to come to the reunion?" So Stacy's like, "Well, because we aren't together anymore." So Dr. Wendy comes with the receipts and the conviction and everything. So she's like, "Well, so Wendy's like, well, TJ was just on FaceTime with Eddie, and he told him that he was paid to be your love interest on the show." Says that to Stacy, and says that he also said to run me my money, cause the money ain't adding up. And all the ladies are like, "What? Oh!" And Kiana's like, "I knew it." And they all like, "I knew it." And oh, the ladies' reactions was crazy. So Stacy's like, I don't believe you. Telling Wendy, "I don't believe you." So Wendy's like, it's on camera, like they recorded it. So Andy, he's on his ear mic, and he's like, he's asking the control room, "Do you guys have that conversation with TJ?" And they say yes. And Andy's like, he's like, they have it. It's just that the cameraman that has the footage is the cameraman that's on Mia right now. So then they go backstage to Mia, who's basically changing her outfit to get ready to leave. So we go back on stage. Stacy's like, she just keeps saying, I want to see the footage for myself. She's like, she's continuing to say it's a lie. She's saying that she doesn't believe Wendy or Eddie. And Andy is steady trying to tell Stacy, like, they have the footage. And he even asked the control room if there's a way that they can bring it for Stacy to see. Hey, Stacy to hear and see or whatever. And then we go back to Mia, she's fully changed. Now she's still sobbing. She leaves the reunion. It's like, bye, Mia. I never cared for Mia after the whole Miami trip anyway. So it's just like, those crocodile tears, I don't give a fuck. Miss me with that shit. Like, I still can't believe Wendy forgave her for that and even defended her in some stances in this season. Because I wouldn't even fuck with her after that. She's colorist number 1. So regardless of her being with a chocolate man and having chocolate babies, the shit she did to Wendy in Miami, I will never forget. This is why I would never forgive Giselle or Robin. I can't remember if Ashley was there. If she wasn't, I don't think she did anything. I don't remember. Whatever. So Eddie comes out. All the ladies are excited to see Eddie because he got this tea. They're like, Eddie, bring Eddie out. And they're like, yes, Eddie, come on out. So Eddie ass gets first chair. He's sitting right next to Andy. So he comes out. He confirms that TJ did in fact say that Stacey owed him money. So Stacey's like, she still doesn't believe. She still doesn't believe it. She says TJ is basically hurt and making stuff up. So then Stacey asks Eddie if TJ said specifically that that she was paying him to be on the show. So Eddie's like, yes, he did say that. So then Wendy's like, Wendy and Andy, everybody's telling Stacey, call TJ right now, clear your name. Stacey's like, I'm not going to call TJ. So the ladies basically calling Stacey on her bullshit. They calling bullshit on Stacey. And Stacey, she's getting defensive. She's like, she didn't need TJ for this, to get on this platform. She doesn't care how the ladies feel, blase, blase. She just real defensive right now, but still trying to hold it together. Like, we can see that. So Andy then announces that Mia has left the reunion, and then and that they're about to bring out the footage of TJ, and Andy's going to play it for them. So Andy, so a crew member comes out, brings the phone. Andy goes to sit next to Stacey and plays the video. So the ladies on the other couch, Giselle, Ashley, Kiara, they want to see the video too. But the video ends up being so loud. It ends up being loud enough for everyone to hear. So, Andy he plays the video, and you can clearly, my leg itch. Sorry. You can clearly hear TJ saying that he was paid by Stacey to do the show, and that she better run him his money. And he calls her whack, and he says he'll never be back in DC, and that he wasn't invited to the reunion. So we know that part is a lie, that he wasn't invited to the reunion, because Andy says they invited him, but Stacey didn't want him to come. So then Stacey's like, she just like, I have nothing else to say. It's just so hurtful. She's like, I never paid TJ a dime. So then Andy's like, well, Stacey, do you want to call TJ now to clear things up? The lady's like, yeah. So Stacey's like, no, I'll call TJ with my attorneys. And all the ladies are like, oh my God. It was so crazy. Like, Stacey was so in denial. It was crazy. I'm like, even Kiana was like, girl, I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. Like, he came out here with the receipts. Like, just own up to it. Andy kept asking different ways. Like, he was like, well, did you promise payment? Or was there some type of, I'll pay for your expenses? Stacey was like, no, I never paid a dime, anything. And they was like, are you sure? Because after this airs, he will pull up some receipts and put them all on the gram and blah, blah, blah. She was like, I never. And she was like, Stacey stood her ground. I'm like, okay. If she telling the truth, then okay. But if she not, then it's just going to backfire on her ass. So then, what happens after that? Okay. So now they show the package of Karen's whole DUI situation and everything that's been happening that played out throughout the season. So after the package is shown, Andy asks the ladies, like, do they think that Karen has a drinking problem? They say that they think Karen used... Hold on. Let me send this damn money right quick. Okay. Alright, my bad. Let me send this text message so they can know that I'm doing a review right now. Alright, back to what I was saying. Anyway, so they asked so after the package is shown, Andy asked the ladies if they think that Karen has a drinking problem. Karen, they say that they feel like, well, Ashley speaks for the ladies. Don't nobody else. They kind of just piggyback off what she says, but they're like, but Ashley's like, well, we think that she uses alcohol to cope with her difficulties. So all this tea comes out about Karen and her drinking when she's not here and after this whole drinking situation. So they asked the ladies if they think Karen was deflecting all season to, keep so she wouldn't have to talk about her DUI. And they like, of course we think that. So then Andy, he's like, Jacqueline, you got the most smoke from Karen all season. And Jacqueline, she brings up the Karen's birthday party that Giselle threw. And she's like, when I said Karen sounded tipsy on the phone, it wasn't with malicious intent, but she drugged me the whole season for that one little conversation. And Giselle's like, well, what Giselle tells Jacqueline, what Karen was trying to make you understand is that it was an active case while the show was filming, so anything that was said during the show could have affected her case. And then Wendy chimes in and she's like, she's like, well, Giselle, she's like, I gotta disagree with that. She says that, Karen pushed her court. Well, she said she pushed her court case back a couple of times. And if she was that worried about things on the show affecting her court case, she would have tried to go to court before the show aired. So anything on the show wouldn't be able to affect her case. So I mean, like, they both got good points on that. We'll never know because Karen will never give us the truth. We would just have to go off what we see online and, what the ladies are saying. So Andy then brings up, Jacqueline coming to the Love Lagoon party with those 8 balloons representing the 8 citations that Karen supposedly had. So Jacqueline says that, of course, she was being petty in the beginning because when they were at Lake Norman, Karen brought up Jacqueline's baby father, PP, having like 25, was it convictions, citations? I don't remember. Something like that. But then she said she changed her tune and was coming from a place of... I'm like, how you change your tune but still make that shady come to the party and make that shady comment? First of all, you wasn't even invited. So showing up was still shady. So then Andy asked Jacqueline, did Karen sue you for ruining the environment? Cause that moment where I think it was because she let the balloons go or something. I can't remember what Karen was saying she was gonna sue Jacqueline for. And Jacqueline, she tries to throw shade talking about something. Oh, Karen, after all those court cases she don't have no more money. And all the ladies are like, all right now, Jacqueline. Okay, Jacqueline, we let you off. It's like, girl, now you trying it. We get it. We get it what Karen did and whatever, but girl. So Andy's like, Kiana, you were a rider for Karen this season. And he asked her how she felt about the news when it broke about Karen, like what she actually did, the body cam footage, the Karen of it all, the whole DUI of it all. And Karen's like, she don't know why Karen felt like she couldn't have shared or been honest with her, and she's like, my husband is in the business of rehabilitation, and she's like, she even extended her husband's services privately to Karen, so she don't know why Karen couldn't, like, basically be vulnerable with her. But she's like, she wished Karen all the best, So and then the ladies and Andy, they talk about they're kind of baffled about why Karen would take this case to public trial, seeing as though they had that damning body cam footage. And then Giselle says, allegedly Karen was offered 6 months house arrest and or 60 days jail time prior to her charges being found guilty or whatever. And she says that Karen turned them both down. And the ladies are like, why would you turn down 6 months probation? Or 6 months 6 months on house arrest. Yeah, not probation, house arrest. So she's like, why would you turn that down? So they having those reactions to that. So this is when Ashley, because it's like Ashley is a known liar. So it's just like this stuff she starts to say about Karen in this last part of this reunion. It's like you don't know what to believe when it comes to Ashley because she lies so much. So she says that the day after Karen's accident, a journalist reached out to her saying that there was another person in the car driving with Karen. But then they show a clip of Karen's body cam footage where Karen does state that she wasn't the one driving the car and that she can't believe that the person hopped out the car, and allegedly it was some security that Ray's supposed to had hired for her. So I don't know if Ashley was lying about that part, because we did see the body cam footage and Karen said that somebody else was driving. But she was also belligerent drunk, so we don't know. She might have just been saying that to try to clear her ass and not realizing she drunk off her ass. So they showed this unseen footage of the day before Karen checks herself into the rehab, or so we thought. Because I heard that it wasn't even a rehab she checked herself in. I heard it was like a luxury resort. But either way, so we see this unseen footage, and it's a conversation between Karen and Ray. And Karen is telling Ray that she hadn't seen the body cam footage until the day of the trial. So she's saying she hadn't seen it before the trial. And she says when she's seen the footage, she didn't recognize herself, and that her cousin David, the one that she was supposedly on the phone with when the accident happened, says that Karen supposedly blacked out before impact. So all that belligerent talking to the cops and stuff was her being blacked out. And she says that she started taking antidepressants when her parents died, and that she had started adjusting her own dosages as life went on. And she says the night of the accident, she upped her dosage of medication, and that she was also drinking champagne. And then she starts to say, me and you, Ray, we had an agreement that I would only get a driver. That's why. And then that's how the whole Blue Eyes rumor started in the first place. So then they pan the camera to Ashley and Giselle, and Ashley's like, oh, they're covering all the bases. They bring up the whole Blue Eyes, so they trying to say that's how the Blue Eyes rumor started, because she been having a driver, blase, blase. So at this point, Giselle and Ashley, they're asking Andy to just turn the video off. They like this turn this off, because they're saying it's performative. They don't believe it or whatever. Then Karen does go on to say that she did this to herself, and she put people in harm's way. So she took a little accountability. I'm not gonna sit here and say, because Giselle and them said she took no accountability, but at one point in this video she does say, I did this to myself, and I put people in danger and whatnot. And she's like, I'm checking myself into this program for me, and not and that is not court appointed, like it's not court ordered. And she says at the end of the video that she's gonna be retiring the Grand Dame name, the Grand Dame title or whatever. So of course after the video, Andy asked the ladies their thoughts. Giselle and Ashley agreed that they covered all their bases in this video, and they feel like Karen took no accountability in the video. Like I said, it was a part where she said that I did this to myself. I put people in harm's way, so she took a little accountability. But I did feel like they were just blowing smoke when they was talking about the antidepressants and with the alcohol and some stuff they were saying. It was kind of like, okay. But yeah. So Ashley then brings up another story. She just got all these news stories, informations or whatever. Because at one point, Wendy wants to say something, and Stacy and Andy are like, say it, Wendy, say it. And Wendy's like, no, I'm not going to say it. So Ashley, then she tells this story about when she was on the train ride on her way to the reunion. She got to chatting it up with some guy, and when she told him she was on the show, he told him that he worked at Legal Seafood and that Karen would come in there every day drinking. So this is when Wendy's like, and that's what I wanted to say, but I was not going to say it. Wendy says that she would go to this place where they told her that Karen would come in there every day and get drunk. And I'm not denying what Ashley or Wendy says, but Ashley is a known liar. But when Wendy chimes in and says it, it's kind of like, okay, you got to kind of believe it, because why would Wendy lie? What does Wendy need to lie for? But also, she could come in there and day drink all she want. The question is, was she getting rides? Was she driving herself home in those instances, or did she have a driver in those instances? Because if she had a driver in those instances, then that don't really matter. I mean, yes, it proves she has a drinking problem, but if she was getting a driver, then it don't really make sense to put it against the DUIs and stuff. I mean, we recently found out she had 4 different DUIs. So, Andy then brings up that he brings up Karen saying in the video that she didn't see her body cam footage until the trial. Ashley, Giselle, and Wendy, they don't believe it. Wendy's like, her defense team tried to get that footage erased from the case. They tried to get it what's the word? They tried to not let it. They didn't want it to be out there. So she's like, so Karen had to have some knowledge. But Stacey and Andy, they seem to believe Karen might not have, because they're like, why would she take it to public trial if she has seen that damning video? So they then talk about Karen's upcoming sentencing. We found out now that she got sentenced to a year in she got sentenced to 2 years, but one of the years was suspended, so she got sentenced to a year in prison. But in this instance, at the reunion, they didn't know the sentencing yet. So, they talk about how awful it would be for her to be in prison. She's 62 years old. Giselle's like, you can't take your wig in there. They just saying little stuff. And that's crazy. She's in prison as we speak. It's crazy. But I don't think she's gonna do the full year. Like, she probably, I don't know. I don't know how that prison system works in Maryland, but yeah, I don't think she's gonna do the full year. So then, they talk about how Mia left the reunion. Basically she can't take. She can dish it, but she can't take it. It's like, she was fire. She was a spitfire all season. But then when it came to the reunion, she crying and leaving the reunion. Everybody was like, I never seen that side of Mia, and me neither. Because anytime Mia is under fire, she sits in it. She smiles and she's like, she takes it or whatever. But it's like this season. I mean, this reunion, she crying and she leaving the stage. And I was like, yeah, I never seen that Mia before neither. But at the same time, like I said at the top of this review, I don't give a fuck because I never seen it for Mia after the Miami trip. And then Wendy's like, y'all know I clocked Mia on when she first came on her first season. And they showed a clip of Mia lying about her age and whatnot. So it's just like, we know Mia is a liar. So it's just like, I don't know why she ain't just stand on business at the reunion. Like, you knew they was coming for your ass because they was coming for you all season. So you should have known you was going to get it. And they gave you grace because of Karen's whole little situation and Stacey's situation. So you wasn't going to get it as bad as you thought. You could have just sat through it a little more and you would have been good. But she couldn't take it. And yeah, that's how the episode ends. Like I said, I'm going to give this on a B+ because the delusion that Stacey had was crazy. All these news stories about Karen was crazy, and it was just an enjoyable, them bringing Eddie out, having his moment. They didn't even bring Greg out, so it was just like, I know Greg was pissed because he already don't like being on TV. So now you brung him there, he didn't get to have no moment. But yeah, I would give it a B+. It was entertaining. I liked it. I'm gonna miss Real Housewives of Potomac. Can't wait to see what they're going to bring next season. Yeah, I have no thoughts or opinions other than those that I just gave. So leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments. And if there's anything that I didn't talk about or I forgot or I was off on, just leave them in the comments. Leave your grade for this part 3 reunion in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel. It takes less than 5 seconds of your time. If you like Real Housewives of Potomac related things, then liking and subscribing will help Real Housewives of Potomac related things pop up on your algorithm and your timeline. It's anonymous to do, so hit the like button and subscribe button. I won't know it's you. It's free, so it's no money out your pocket. I can go on and on about how it supports without you having the hassle. So like and subscribe, comment below. Thanks for watching this review, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.